Want a soar? Get a mentor. Hey, it's Nina Carmichael, and we made these videos is probably because you're the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more, and you need a push by surround yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, and it has never been easier to become successful. Enjoy! Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1, keep going.
The only thing you're missing is momentum. You've got all the tools available to you. It has never been easier to build your dreams, to reach an audience, to create the company you want. Never easier. All you're missing is momentum. Sustained, daily, ever-present momentum. And today, I'm going to show you how to get it. One of the only reasons why I've had success on YouTube is I just kept going. When I first started on the platform 11 years ago, it's crazy that it's been that long. You can kind of see some of the awards behind me here, behind the books. Buy, Build, to Serve, it's an amazing book. 11 years ago when I first started, my first video was on Walt Disney. I had my friend, Mark Drager, huge friend of the channel, come in and help film it for me and help edit it for me. And in the first year of that video being up, there were only 3 comments on it. One was my mom, one was my older sister, and one was some other random guy who commented on my video, right? In a year of my first video going up, only one person that I didn't know commented on the video. YouTube at the time was not a long-form platform. YouTube 11 years ago was something that people were posting really silly meme videos and just jokes and pranks, but really short-form videos. Nobody was making long videos, 10-minute videos, 12-minute videos. It didn't exist. And it took me 5 years to get to 7,000 subscribers. I knew because that's when I passed 1 million views. After 5 years, I crossed 1 million views and I got 7,000 subscribers. And then in the past 6 years, it's gone from 7,000 subscribers to 2 point whatever million and 1 million views to 300 whatever million views. I just kept at it. Now, my journey doesn't have to be your journey. It doesn't have to take you that long if you're trying to build up a YouTube channel. It may, but it doesn't have to. One, I'm super introverted and nervous and filming. And even now, this stuff makes me nervous getting in front of the camera because I want every video to be the best that I've ever done. YouTube at the time was not an educational platform and it's changed. So there's lots that was against me, but the only reason why I've passed so many other creators is just because I kept going. Because I had the thing that most people miss, which is momentum. The only thing you're missing is momentum. It was actually sad for me for when I passed some of the speakers that I looked up to and I aspired to be like from a speaker point of view, because I figured these guys are so much more talented than me. These guys have so many more abilities than me. They're more naturally gifted and they put in so much work to be great speakers. And it made me sad when I passed them on YouTube because I felt, man, these guys, they should be out there more. I feel like their message needs to be heard. The only difference was I was just putting in more work on YouTube. They're off doing their other things as well. But from a YouTube perspective, I was just building more momentum. I just had more sustained energy to it. And you see this so often with entrepreneurs, not just YouTube, entrepreneurs. So often you got a great idea and you start and there's so much energy and momentum and then you don't get immediate results. And so you stop and then you get motivated again and you keep going and then you quit again and you give up. It's that sustained, evergreen, ongoing, daily momentum that you're missing. Even if it's just an hour a day, maybe you have a job, you need to survive. Awesome, I understand. Yes, pay the bills. You don't have to burn all the boats and burn all the bridges as the only way that this business is going to take off. Sustained momentum. Every single day has to be part of what you're doing. And so I've had success on YouTube because I've made 6,000 videos. Again, I'm not super talented. It took me a long time to get here. I'm a result of just every day getting up and doing the work. And chances are, whoever your heroes are, whether it's Tony Robbins or Steve Jobs or Oprah Winfrey or whoever it is, look at their story. It was every day getting up, doing the work, even if they weren't getting results, knowing that the only thing missing, the only thing you are missing is that sustained momentum because you're a genius, you have a great idea, that idea needs to be birthed into the world, you're just not doing enough daily action to make it actually happen. Okay, so here's the 3-step process that you need to go through to get the momentum that you're looking for to build the dream business that you want to build. Let's go. Number 1 is don't wake up like an accident. Most people wake up like an accident. Most people, they wake up, they pull out their phones and they start responding to other people's emergencies, right? Your email, your text, your messages are other people's emergencies and demand for your time. Don't make your emergency my emergency. Successful people don't wake up like an accident. You have a plan. And the most important part of a daily routine in the morning is doing the thing that makes you feel bold, powerful, unstoppable, confident. Maybe it's watching an espresso video. Every weekday morning is a video just for you. It could be the 254 series that you just saw a promotion for, where every morning you get a video about how to have more confidence for free delivered to you. But if it's not me gifting it to you, find your own thing, right? What is the thing that makes you feel bold, powerful, confident, unstoppable, alive, and then doing that every single morning? Because you could have the greatest day of all time today, but tomorrow you're starting over. Every day when you wake up, you're starting over. And successful people demand the best from themselves every morning by creating a routine instead of waking up like an accident. Stop waking up like an accident and create a powerful morning routine. Number 2 is schedule for success. So I'm a big believer that your actions map to your ambition. So you look at your calendar, see what's ahead in the week, right? Whatever day today is, look for the next 7 days. What's in your calendar? What are you doing? You have goals, ambitions, dreams, desires. You say you want to create this amazing thing. Awesome. I love it. I'm cheering you on. Show me in your calendar where those things are happening. For your business, for your personal life, it has to be in your calendar. You could have the greatest intentions of all time, but if it's not scheduled in, it's never going to happen. Life is going to get in the way. Other people's demands for your time is going to get in the way. Other things that they think is super important for you to do is going to get in the way. And the only way that doesn't happen is if you schedule it in. I haven't met too many entrepreneurs who just have so much free time and they don't know what to do with all this insane time that they have, right? You're busy. You've got amazing things that you want to get done. And you got lots of people who want things from you as well. You have to block out the big things in your life. For me, I block different things for different days. So after my morning routine, Monday is my mentoring day where I mentor the people on my team. Tuesday is my YouTube day where I film YouTube videos for you guys. Wednesday is my project day where I work on my book right now, my YouTube course, and my Movement Makers membership group. Thursday is my public-facing day. We'll do 11 to 12 different interviews, podcasts, hangouts, Skype calls with people that build the message. Friday is my CEO day where I work on bigger projects that help build my brand. Saturday is fun days with my wife. I'm not working. Don't try to reach me on a Saturday. It's not going to happen. Sunday is family admin day where it's doing the laundry and going to Costco and whatever you have to do around the condo, all that kind of stuff. And then it repeats on Monday again, right? That's scheduling for my success. Schedule for your success as well. Your big goals, your big aspirations, your big dreams. If there's no time in the calendar in the next week where that's going to happen for you, then you're not going to make any momentum towards actually achieving the life that you want. Schedule for success. And number 3 is scary, difficult, or hard. Try to teach yourself that when you hear the words scary, difficult, or hard to yourself, that you have to do it just because. One of the biggest things that stop momentum is because it's scary to do the thing that you need to do, it's difficult, or it's hard. These are the things that prevent us from moving. You know you can do great things, but you're constantly stuck because whatever that thing ahead of you is scary, difficult, or hard. So teach yourself. If you start hearing yourself, I want to go off and do this thing. This is what I would love to do with my week, or this is the call that I need to take, or this is the place that I need to be. And if the reaction, the voice inside your head says scary, difficult, or hard, that is no longer a good enough reason not to act. You love scary. You embrace difficult. Hard is your best friend. If there's nothing in your calendar that is scary, difficult, or hard, you hate your life. That just means you're photocopying the same day over and over and over again. That is not the life that you want. The life that you want is on the other side of scary, difficult, or hard. So if there's something that you want to do and the voice in your head says scary, difficult, or hard, you have to go off and do that thing just because you're not allowed anymore to tell yourself scary, difficult, or hard and then back down, because that's the mental voice telling yourself that you suck. It's pushing through it and saying, I'm amazing. I'm going to go off and do this scary, difficult, or hard thing. And bonus points, tell the people in your life. Tell your husband, tell your wife, tell your kids, tell your friends, tell your family. If you ever hear me say the words, well, that's scary, that's difficult, that's too hard, I need you to remind me of this moment. I need you to remind me of who I am. And then I'm going to jump in and do it because I love scary, difficult, and hard.
Rule number 2, do difficult things.
Self-love comes from doing difficult things. Self-love, self-confidence, self-respect, all of it comes from doing difficult things and praising yourself for doing them. I think it's one of the most important things that people don't do enough. But I think in order to actually make the praise stick, you have to prove to yourself that you're worthy of it by doing difficult things. You can say, I'm a badass entrepreneur. You can say, I'm amazing and I love myself. But why? Your brain's then going to say, well, no, you don't. No, you don't. Show me. What have you done? You're waking up and doing the same thing you did yesterday. At least this is the conversation in my head. So by doing difficult things, by doing the thing, even if you don't get the result, it doesn't matter about the result. You're tying your self-worth, your self-confidence to the effort, to trying the difficult thing, to taking action on a difficult thing that you were scared to do. If you woke up every day and did something that made you scared, that was difficult, that made your heart go boom, 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 like that. You did that every day, and then you praised yourself afterwards for the effort, I promise you're gonna love yourself. I promise you're gonna go off and do amazing things. You're gonna take that idea that you've got and go off and actually execute it and actually implement it. One of the biggest reasons why you're not is because you don't believe in yourself. That's why I think lack of belief is the single biggest problem in the world. I'm trying to solve the world's biggest problem. People don't believe in themselves enough. The woman who solves cancer is a manager at some restaurant and she hates her life because she never believed in herself enough to actually go down the path that she should have gone down, because she listened to her parents and friends and family and society to go do the safe thing. And she's got a safe, boring life that she hates because she doesn't love herself and she doesn't believe in herself enough. And so you have to do the things that make you scared, that are difficult. It's not about being fearless. It's about feeling the fear and still going off and doing it and then saying, I'm amazing because I tried. Because if you woke up every day and did something where you felt amazing that you tried, you're going to actually go off and accomplish amazing things, and you're going to feel amazing about yourself. This then allows you to take on more criticism. I think people should actually be harder on themselves. I think people should be harder on themselves. I think a big problem is people are not hard enough on themselves. But you can't be harder on yourself because you don't love yourself enough. The people who are coming here, the people, sitting there on that beach down there, the people here who are escaping a life that they don't love, for the most part, why do people go on a vacation, come to some amazing place like this? Because they're running away from a life that they don't like. The people like that, they can't be harder on themselves. Half of those people are already borderline suicidal. They can't be harder on themselves. They can't be hard on themselves because they don't love themselves enough. Imagine a yin-yang circle, right? The more you love yourself, the more you are your own biggest cheerleader, the more you fill your cup up, the more you can be harder on yourself and take more criticism and feedback and negativity. Constructive feedback and negativity, right? Air quotes, negativity. The more you can handle, because it's not sticking to you because you love yourself so much. You need to be your biggest cheerleader as well as your biggest critic. And too many people are their biggest critic, but not their biggest cheerleader. The only thing that matters is what you say to yourself when you see yourself in the mirror every night and every morning. How do you actually feel about yourself? It doesn't matter if people love you. Do you love you? And self-love comes from doing difficult things and then praising yourself for it and saying, I'm amazing, look what I just did. I'm here speaking in Puerto Rico at Brendan Burchard's mastermind event, and I was nervous getting on stage. I was nervous. And I'm like, who am I to go do this? And Brendan's giving me this amazing intro about how I helped him and how inspired he is and how I'm going to change their lives. And my heart's beating out of my chest like, holy cow. I don't want to disappoint people because it's my biggest fear. I don't want to disappoint Brendan. I'm thinking in my head, please, Brendan, don't talk such a big game about me because I don't want to disappoint people when I get on stage. And then I got on stage and I delivered my message and I got a standing ovation afterwards, which made me feel amazing. But it wasn't about the standing ovation. It was that I got up and I tried. Because if I felt the discomfort, the unease, the heart beating, boom, 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 the fear of potential disappointment, the fear of potentially being judged by people, and then playing small, that is teaching yourself that you suck. Whenever you get an idea, something that you know, you have to go off and try. And you don't. You play small because you're afraid. It's not neutral, it's negative. You're teaching yourself, I suck, I'm afraid, I'm playing small. You may not admit that out loud, but that's the story you tell yourself at home when it's just you in the mirror. That you play small, that you suck, that you can't handle it, that you're not good enough. And you don't want that cycle to repeat itself over and over and over and over again. And so when you tie your self-worth to the effort, that I'm willing to try, that even if I get on stage and just vomit everywhere and suck and do let everybody down, I tried my hardest. I tried my hardest. And patting yourself on the back and saying, I'm amazing for trying. Because if you woke up every day and you tried, you'll vomit a little bit less the next time. And then the next time, you don't vomit at all. And the next time, you crush it. Why do you expect to be great the first time you get out there? As adults, we don't try enough things because we think we're supposed to be great. You're not gonna be, why is your first video gonna be great? You will not be great. You're gonna suck at the beginning. The results will suck, not you as a human. You're amazing for trying. You're amazing for putting yourself out there. That's the story. That's the pat yourself on the back that you need to do more of. Doing the difficult things, tying your self-worth to the effort, not the results, and then praising yourself for doing it is the whole game. You do that, your mindset starts to shift. Your belief system starts to shift. What you feel you're capable of starts to shift. And in that shift is your greatness. In that shift are the amazing things that you can create for yourself, for your family, for your community, for the world. You're a perfect masterpiece and a work in progress, both at the same time. So praise yourself for the effort that you're putting in today and go make yourself proud of you.
Rule number 3, become efficient.
The number one rule if you want to make more money is you have to bring more value. Want to make money quickly? Provide value quickly. Want to make tons of money? Provide tons of value. If you are not making money yet, it's because people don't see the value that you bring. And we're going to change that in this video. So one of the first people that I had any kind of arrangement with on the top 10 series that I had on my channel was Tony Robbins. I made a video on Tony Robbins, I don't know how many years ago now, the first top 10 that I did on him, and his team put it on his YouTube channel. So it may still be there. If you go to his YouTube channel and then look at the playlist, you'll see that one of those videos is the video that I made on him so many years back. And I started trying to bring as much value to his team as possible. Now, Tony's a really busy guy. I'd loved him from all the books that he's written and the CD programs that I listened to. I hadn't been to an event yet at that point, and I was just trying to bring value to Tony's team. I didn't know him personally yet. And it frustrated me that he wasn't more on YouTube. And I thought, hey, this guy needs to be more on YouTube. I want more content for my channel. And I think the world needs more amazing speakers and thought leaders out there creating content on YouTube so people can learn. And so I kept in touch with his team and I said, hey, I'd love to help promote Tony. I'd love to help you with your YouTube channel. I'd love to have Tony on my channel. And I just kept trying to find ways to bring value to his team consistently and following up. And finally, here's what happened. Finally, they agreed, hey, yeah, let's have Tony come and do an interview on your team. And finally, they said, hey, let's have Tony come and do an interview on your channel. And I was so excited. I was super nervous to have Tony Robbins on my channel. It's going to be a big deal. And then like the day of or the day before, he had to cancel. For something happened. Something came up on his schedule. No problem. He had to cancel. And all of the nerves and energy is like, oh no, now led to disappointment. That is finally going to happen, and then it's not going to happen. And he said, we'll try to book it in as soon as possible to get it happening because Tony wants to be on your channel. Great. It took 2 years before we actually got Tony on the channel afterwards. 2 years, and that's not to throw shade at Tony. I love him. He's busy. He's doing his own thing. I wasn't bringing enough value to make it sooner. But what I did was I kept in touch. I kept following up, not just saying, hey, is Tony ready yet? Hey, is Tony ready yet? Hey, is Tony ready yet? No, I'm bringing value. I'm helping them with their YouTube channel. I'm giving them suggestions. I'm helping promote their events. I was doing stuff to try to still be in the circle, to stay top of mind, so that when the next opportunity came up, which happened to be when he launched his next book, to say, I want to be top of mind. And Tony agreed to do 5 different remote interviews for his new book. And I was one of the 5. And his team said, you've been so valuable to us. You've been helping us so much. We appreciate it. We want you to be one of the 5 that Tony does an interview with. Like, it's happening. Pinch me for real this time. I hope it's happening. And then the day of, he showed up, and I was super stressed out and nervous about asking the right questions and trying to bring value again. I don't want to disappoint people. And he showed up. It went great. We had an awesome interview. And at the end, he then said, hey, Evan, I'd like to invite you as my guest to my next seminar, which is coming up in New Jersey, Unleash the Power Within. And he invited me to like front row seats, special lounge access, and all the perks. Meet him backstage because he wanted to chat and take a picture, which then led to more events and other opportunities, and then speaking, and then connecting with Brendan Burchard's team, and like lots of stuff happened through the Tony Robbins world and connection because I stayed and I followed up, because I kept trying to bring value. And even after the first time when they got the cancellation on me, I still followed up for 2 more years and kept providing value for 2 more years, right? It's dog on the bone. I want this to work. I'm going to find another way through until finally it did, and then things took off. And so the same thing for you and your business. If you want to have success, it's about thinking about ways you can provide more value. It's not that you can't provide value. It's not that you're not talented and that you're not a genius. You are. People just don't recognize the value that you can bring yet, and you haven't figured out how to bring that to market in a way that you're going to get paid to do it. Okay, so my 3-step process so that you can provide more value and get paid what you're worth. Let's go. Step number 1 is build your top 50 list. Think about who are the 50 people that if they knew you, if they liked you, if they trusted you, if they respected you, if they recognized who you were and knew what you were up to, that would mean something, right? For a lot of people, it doesn't matter if they know you or not. They're not going to be a referral source. They're not going to be a partner for you. But who are the 50 people that matter most, that you would love to have as dream clients or dream partnerships? Build that list of 50 people that you want to make contact with. Step number 2 is be their chief goal officer. If you want to have success, and this isn't just for the 50 list, but for your clients, for your team, for your relationships, be the person's chief goal officer. When you understand not just what you want, but what they want, and you help them get it, that's when the whole world opens up. The reason why I was able to get to work with Tony Robbins and his team was I made a video at the starting point, right? I made a video that they liked, that put Tony in a good light, that was respectful, that made him look as well as a business guru on top of everything else that he was already doing. And then every interaction I had afterwards, I'm bringing them value. I'm helping them with their YouTube channel, helping spread the awareness for programs and courses that he has coming up, right? I'm trying to be a resource for them, but around things that they care about. Not the things that I want to talk about, it's what they care about. And so if you're following your 50 people, right? You have your list of 50. Pay attention to what they're talking about. Try to catch them when they're in a time of need, right? So classic examples are when somebody's pitching a book, or when they're pitching a new deal, or where they're trying to get eyeballs on a new show that they just launched. Like, what are they talking about? If they've gone super dark and super quiet and they're not active on any of their social platforms, it's really hard to start to make an entrance. One of the people on my list has just gone dark, and we've had a good relationship for the past 2 years. And now he's gone dark. He's in book writing mode. It's like, I'm in book writing mode now, and I'm not going to surface for the next 4 months. So I'm not going to send him anything in the next 4 months. He's not going to be posting anything for the next 4 months. There's no point in me reaching out and seeing how he's doing in the next 4 months because he doesn't want to be bothered. But when he resurfaces and comes up for air, you know what he's going to need? He's going to need promotion. He's going to need marketing. He's going to need support. You know who's going to be there? This guy, right? Like, that's the process. If you promote my book right now, it just came out. I'm just in launch mode. I'm trying to get eyeballs on it, right? If you promote my book right now, if I'm on your list, I'm way more likely to reshare your stuff, to share the post, to pay attention to who you are than in 2 months if you did the same thing. And that's for everybody. Everybody's going in these cycles. What do they care about most right now? What matters most to them right now? And then you finding a way to be a resource to help them so that they know who you are. They recognize your name and say, that person's awesome. I love that person. When you get to that point, then when you reach out with an ask, when you say, hey, I'd love if you could XYZ, they're way more receptive to you because of all the value that you've brought. Be their chief goal officer. Understand what they want and help them get it. And then you can ask for what you want. And step number 3 is then just constantly follow up with value. Where most people quit is they don't get an immediate response. The more successful the person is that you're chasing down, the harder it's going to be to reach them. The harder it's going to be to penetrate them, right? So you have to consistently follow through, right? Like, just look again at my Tony Robbins example. It took a while to get that first interview. That got canceled. They promised to do another one, and it took 2 years before that next one happened. Of constantly following up, right? Not every day, but a couple times a month, constantly sending some value, pitching ideas, helping them with their YouTube channel, always through Tony's team, to the point where it's like, this guy, Evan, is bringing us so much value. Once Tony's opening up his calendar again, we have to make a spot for him, right? Most people quit too soon. Would you wait, a year to get the first thing and then 2 years before it actually happens, right? Another 2 years, would you wait that long? Would you follow up that much? Like, if you're on a short timeline and that this business has to work in 6 months and then you're going to sell it and do something else, this isn't the strategy. But if you're on a lifelong path, like, these are people who you want to work with. These are your heroes who you can't wait to get in front of. then you have to follow through. You got to stay on it. Be their chief goal officer, but don't give up after the first time if you're not getting results, right? If you DM me and I don't respond the first time, if you leave an amazing comment and I don't see it, like that's going to happen. You're going to get lost in the shuffle a lot of times. And especially if you're only doing it once. But if every time I go live on Instagram, you're there, asking great questions, showing love and support. When I went live on YouTube talking about my book, if you were there, right, asking questions, showing love to the people. If you bought the book and shared it with your story, right, I'm going to notice you. And forget about me. Maybe, who cares about me? Great. The next person, Gary Vee or Tony Robbins or Kevin Hart or Will Smith or Oprah, or whoever the person is that you love the most, right? Your top 50, you're constantly paying attention. And at any given point in time, not all 50 of them are going to need something. But inevitably, somebody on that list right now needs something. They need help. They need support. They need outreach. They need marketing. They need exposure. You can help be that person for them. And then they're going to remember you. The constant, never-ending, ongoing outreach of value to build the business that you want to build.
Rule number 4, follow through your goals.
We give up too easily on our goals because we've proven to ourselves that we can't follow through on our goals. Every time you set a goal and you don't follow through, you're creating the pattern in your head, the mindset, the identity that I'm the kind of person who doesn't follow through. So what happens the next time you set a goal? Well, your brain will kick in to say, you're not going to do that. How many times have you set a goal for yourself? It might be some big giant goal, right? Like I'm going to crush this year and I'm going to be here by the end of the year. Awesome. Might be some big goal. But chances are even the little ones, even the little goals, like I'm going to work out today, or I'm going to eat well today, or I'm going to make that call today. How many times have you set even a little goal for yourself and then not follow through? You didn't do it. You're not allowed to do that anymore. You have to be very intentional about the goals you set for yourself. And then once you set them, you have to follow through, because what's happening is you don't believe you anymore. The next time you come up with another goal, you say, I'm going to create this thing. I'm going to get this thing done. You might believe it in the half second that you decided you're going to do it. And then what happens? Your brain's going to take over and say, you're not going to do that thing. Are you crazy? What makes you think you're going to do that? You didn't do these other 100 things you said you were going to do either. Your goals don't count until they're hard. And it starts with, as soon as you set a goal, you follow through and expect it to be difficult. If it's easy, it's a gift. Expect it to be difficult and show yourself that you do difficult things. So for example, I'm filming today. Switch my hands. Hands getting tired from holding the phone all day. I'm filming today. I'm not at my place. Not in my usual setting. I'm not in my usual gear. I like having my camera set up and my light and my microphone and all of it. I can't do it today, but today is my filming day. Tomorrow I can't film because I got other stuff. I'm working on my YouTube course. I'm working on my membership program. I'm working on promoting my new book, Built to Serve. Go check it out, Built to Serve. So it has to get done today. What many people would do is say, well, whatever, I'll do it next week. You put it off. I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow something else happens and you don't get it done. I adopt the mindset that it doesn't count until it's hard. That if I'm sitting down to record videos with everything perfectly set up, that's a bonus. But I expect things to get hard. I expect life to throw a wrench in my face, right? I expect difficult situations to come up. My goals don't count until they're hard. And I am the kind of person who follows through on the things I say I'm going to do. That's my belief with myself, let alone what I'll tell other people. To myself, it's not acceptable that it's video day and I'm not making videos. And so I'm filming outside and I'm layered up. And I went through this exercise this morning. Part of what I do every morning is I think about what's my goal for the day and what would prevent me from accomplishing my goal, right? I say I want to do this. What's going to be my roadblock? And I'll pre-plan this in advance. What's going to be a roadblock for me to not filming? So in my head, I said, well, I have to film today. I'm not going to be at home. So I'm going to film today. I'm going to film outside. What's going to prevent me from actually doing it? It's like, well, if it's too cold, right? So what's my solution? And I'll write it down. I'll prepare for it. I'm going to bundle up. So I've got my hat on. I've got my winter jacket on. I've got 2 layers. You can't see it. I got this hoodie with the thumb holes, and then I got this hoodie, which is the orange one, the gold one, right? then I've got a t-shirt on underneath that too to stay warm, right? So I'm making it so that I can follow through and accomplish my goals. But I've tied my self-identity to doing difficult things, to following through when it's hard. And so I want you to commit to less goals. I want you to think about just one goal that you have for yourself. What's one goal? Success equals habit. So what's a habit that you have that you want to keep, that's important to you? And don't tell yourself you're going to do it unless you're actually going to follow through and do it. Make fewer goals and then stick to them. That allows you to build the discipline and the willpower. Because when you believe that you can follow through, guess what happens? You're way more likely to follow through. When you believe that you can't because you've told yourself this ongoing story and proven to yourself that you can't, that you don't follow through, then that's what's going to continue to perpetuate. And then you're never going to go off and accomplish your goals. But you know that you're capable of more. And you live secretly knowing that you resent it, you regret it, you're disappointed in yourself. How do you get self-love? How do you get rid of the disappointment? How do you build self-esteem, self-confidence, willpower? All of it comes from doing difficult things and committing to yourself and following through. So pick fewer goals. Step 1, pick fewer goals. Step 2, expect them to be difficult. Life's going to throw a wrench at you. Step 3, plan for difficulties in that what could throw you off course today from not following through. Look, I almost slipped in some ice. What would happen? If I slipped on that ice, I would keep filming. I would film from the floor. When I broke my neck, I filmed with my broken neck, the collar, the massive pain. There's tons of videos on it. If I slipped on that ice right now, it would not be acceptable for me to stop filming, right? And I would tell my editor, Christina, leave all that in. Leave the falling, leave the ow, leave the camera pointing at the sky where you can only hear me groaning, and then see me pick up the phone and start finishing this video. And then I would celebrate myself, right? Once you do it and it's hard, you have to celebrate yourself. You pat yourself on the back and say, I'm amazing. I just did that. Is it the best video of all time? No. Could I have done way better? 100%. But I did that. And that starts building the belief system that you can do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So pick that goal. Expect it to be hard. Plan for it to be difficult and what your solution is going to be. And then go off and do it and celebrate. Because you're awesome. And I want to see you win.
Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, I've designed a special free training to help you do it. The science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action to build a new habit. And I want that for you. I want you to build the habit of self-belief. So what I'm going to do is email you every day for 254 days a link to an unlisted video that will shift your belief forward. To get on it for free, the link to join is in the description below. Don't go to them asking for help first. Go to them with value first so that they're stumbling all over themselves to try to find a way to help you out too. Bring value first. For me, my goal is to help the building entrepreneurs. And so I always want to work on projects that have the ability to have a massive impact. That's what I strive for every single day.
Find whatever the smallest first step is, and then the smallest next step is, and continue to build those steps. And when you look back, you'll have realized that you made some pretty significant progress.
Rule number 5, find out your who.
If you want to stop living the life that other people want for you, you have to understand your most important core value. I call it your who. It's from my book, Built to Serve. And when you figure it out, it gives you the freedom to start living the life that you actually want to live. Decisions become easier, life becomes easier, and your confidence starts to skyrocket. And I'm going to tell you how to do it in this video. So my who is believe. My one word is believe. It comes from my parents. They're here on my wall behind me. I'm 8 or 9 years old in this picture, and my parents are above me, and they would always tell me I'm Evan Carmichael, that I can do anything that I believe that I can. My favorite movie is Seabiscuit, which is about this horse that is too small and a jockey that's too big and an owner that has no money, and somehow they all come together in the middle of the depression to create this amazing story. I love cheering for the underdog. I love the idea that if you just believe in yourself more, you're going to be able to create amazing things. And so believe is my one word, most important core value. It's my who. So once you figure that out, it gives you clarity over everything else in my life. So look at the videos that I make. It's always positive. All my videos are always positive. I always try to inject belief into everything that I do. Into this video right now, right here that you're watching. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome. Thank you for watching. I always try to make it about belief. Now, I may not achieve it. I may not have done a good job. You may not be feeling believe after watching this, but it's always my intention going in. It's why I don't have negative videos. If I did the top 10 stupidest things that Jordan Peterson had said, or the top 10 fights between Kanye and whoever, that would actually blow up more. That would blow up more. People would rather consume negativity than positivity. I just don't want to make that video. It doesn't fill me up. It's not my purpose. It's not why I'm here creating the content that I'm creating. And so when you figure out what your one word is, when you figure out what your who is, your most important core value, it allows you to stay on the path to create the life that you want. So if you come to me with an opportunity that is not about believe, it's an easy no. Where otherwise it's, should I do it? I don't know. The money might be good, but it feels a little gross, right? It's an easier decision path. And if you're bringing people in to join your team, you now know what you're looking for. I need people who can, yes, video edit. Hey, Christina. But I also need people who believe and believe, right? Who want to help other people out. So having that clarity gives you the rock to stand on, because you're going to be pulled in a million different directions, right? Your parents want you to do something. Your friends want you to do something. The news wants you to do something. The people around you are all telling you, do this and do this and do this. And like, you don't know what to do. And you see somebody with confidence, somebody who's off chasing their dream, and it's easier just to say, well, I'm going to go and follow that person, where you could be an amazing leader yourself. The only thing missing is you don't know what you stand for. When you figure out your who, you've got the rock to stand on. When everybody else is on quicksand and drowning, you're on your rock and you know what you need to do. Okay, so what are the 5 questions you need to ask yourself to find your one word most important core value, your who? You got a sneak peek. It's in my book, Built to Serve. I'm gonna find it. We're gonna go through them together. You can get the book if you want to go super detailed on it, but we're gonna turn in here. Hold on, it's coming. We're gonna turn in here to page 20 together. I call these the 5 essential questions, okay? So all of the good things that have happened in your life are connected. All the things that you love the most about your life are connected. And when you figure out what that connection is, that's your who. That's your most important core value. That's what you value more than other things. And now that you have clarity over that, you can project your life going forward and attract those things into your life, as opposed to having uncertainty and lack of clarity and just hoping that good things happen. So here are the 5 essential questions, okay? Number 1, who was your favorite teacher growing up and why? Right? Who was your favorite teacher growing up and why? Number 2, what is your favorite movie of all time? Number 3, what do you love most about how your parents raised you? Number 4, which successful person do you look up to and why? And number 5, what lessons do you want your kids to learn from you? Right? Either your current kids, if you have them, or your future kids. Asking those 5 questions. When you figure out the answer to those 5 questions, it's super powerful. And I just kind of highlighted them right now, but in the book it goes into way more detail. It's super powerful because you think, well, what does my favorite teacher is have to do with what my favorite movie is, has to do with what I want to teach my kids? Everything. Like, what do I want to teach my kids? Believe. What do I teach my son Hayden? Believe. What movies do I love? About believe. What do I learn from my parents? Believe, right? And so if you answer those 5 questions and you just come up with 3 words for each one, you'll see that there is some common thread. There is some commonality, and there's a reason why you gravitate towards that teacher, not because they taught you grade 9 science, because they made you a better person. Why? What in that did they make you better at? That's the thing that you still need right now today, just on a bigger scale. And so answering those questions and seeing what words keep coming up over and over and over again, that's at the essence of who you are, of who you want to be. That's the best version of you. That's your who. That's your one word most important core value. And it's one of the most important exercises that you can ever do in your life.
Rule number 6, model success.
The fastest way to accomplish anything in life is to model success. You want business success, you want relationship success, you want financial success, whatever it is you want to learn. Somebody's done it. And the fastest way to learn is to go find somebody, understand what it took for them to become a success, and then apply it to your business, to your life, to your situation. The problem is we feel like we have to do everything ourselves. That you don't know what to do, so I'm going to figure this out, right? I'm creative, I'm a genius, I can figure it out. And yes, you can, but chances are it's going to take you a lot longer. Instead of trying to come up with everything yourself, it's better to build upon what other people have already done. They could take you 80% of the way. It's not going to be 100%, right? If you're trying to get big on YouTube, great, you can copy what I'm doing, but it's not going to take you 100% of the way. It'll take you 80% of the way, because if all you do is copy me, you're going to be an Evan Jr., which will take you a good chunk, but at best, you're gonna be a junior Evan. You're never gonna be what you could be. And so you need to take what I'm doing, learn from it, but then tweak that last 20% to make it your own. How do you take what other people have done and then tweak that last 20% to make it your own? But modeling success takes you 80% of the way. This is the biggest mistake I made when I was starting up as an entrepreneur, right? I told the story a bunch, but I was 19, I was struggling, I was making $300 a month. I'm too embarrassed to tell my friends that I'm struggling. I'm not having success. I feel like a loser. I feel like I'm not making any money, not just feel like it, I wasn't making any money. And I tried to think my way out of everything. I was working my face off, right? Like every waking hour almost, I was working. It wasn't for lack of effort. I was just doing the wrong things because I didn't know what to do, because I was just trying a whole bunch of stuff. And then that worst day of my life, when I told my partner that I quit, I just woke up the next day and said, I can't quit because I'm going to regret this. I know I'm going to regret this. If I stop now, I'm going to regret it. I have to find a way to keep going. But the way that I keep going has to change, because what's going on now, this can't keep going on. If you're frustrated with the lack of momentum towards accomplishing your goals in life, like if you're in the same spot that you were a year ago or relatively close, the problem likely could be lack of effort, but is also likely you're just doing the wrong things. You're just focused on the wrong model. And so go find somebody who's done what you want to do. For me, I studied Bill Gates. I was out of pure desperation. I was not a genius when I was 19 and trying to figure out my way. I was at rock bottom. I just said, somebody has built a software company before. This can't be so hard, right? And I looked at Bill Gates and how he started, right? How did he start? 0 to 1. That's what you need to study, because if you look at what people are doing now, one, it's going to be hard to compare yourself to. If you compare yourself to what I'm doing now, I have 20-something people on my team. You can't, don't expect yourself to keep up with what I'm doing right now. Don't expect to keep up with 11 years of experience, right? You're not going to be as good when you first get started. That's okay. But how did I start? How did I keep going? Whoever you're looking at, look at their foundation story, how they started, and chances are you already have more than what they started with. So I look at what I'm doing right now. I want to be on bigger stages. I want to get better, even better as a speaker. I got invited a couple weeks ago to be in Puerto Rico, speaking with Brendan Burchard on his stage. A lot warmer than here in Toronto, Canada. And after the event, I'm like, hey, Brendan, you have any feedback for me? This guy does more events than almost anybody, right? There's very few people that do more events, and especially at size, at scale, than Brendan Burchard. And so he's giving me feedback. So it's like Kobe learning from Michael. Who's Kobe going to learn from? There aren't that many people who he can actually learn from, who've actually done it, who are better than him, who've made their mark, right? Who am I going to learn from? There's not that many people who've done more, who've spoken on bigger stages with consistency, right? Who've been more recognized. There's definitely people, but it's not a lot. It's a tiny handful of people. And so when you get a chance to be with one of them, you want to tap their brain. You want to learn as much as possible. And so whatever you're going through, whatever you're struggling with, somebody's figured it out before. Somebody's gone through it. You are not unique. You're not alone. People have done this. And to sit there in silence, suffering, being in the same spot that you were a year ago, it needs to change, and it needs to change now. All it starts with is you figuring out and going to Google and searching for the person who's been through it. You can go to my YouTube channels. I've got a lot of them. We've got thousands of videos, right? 6,000 videos on the main channel. I don't know how many on this one. Tons of videos. Chances are we profiled somebody who's gone through what you're currently experiencing, and they have a solution. In their struggle, in what may have taken them a decade to figure out, is a hack that you can apply and immediately get results for your business. For me, modeling Bill Gates, I spent all this time trying to build my business and struggling and suffering and not making any deals and taking home a $300 a month paycheck. And then that one strategy that I took from him, which was forming partnerships, very shortly after I landed my first partnership deal for $13,500. And that was the starting point for my company taking off. Because I had, a little bit of money. I felt like I was rich, but I had a little bit of money in my account now. And more importantly, I had a model that I could follow. I could do it again and again, close more partnerships around the world. And ever since then, that's 20 years ago, I'm 39, almost 40 now. That was when I was 19. Ever since then, the default answer has been when I don't know what to do, model success. Somebody's figured this out. And so that challenge you're facing, somebody's figured it out. You just have to commit to going out and finding that person and acknowledge that you don't have to come up with all the answers yourself. You take what they've done, you take 80% of it, and all you have to do is figure out that last 20% to customize it for yourself. If you do that consistently, for all the problems that you're facing in your life and your business right now, everything will change. Everything will change. That's the difference between where you are right now and where you want to be in a year. How much you're willing to model success and apply those lessons courageously to move your life and your business forward. Go get it.
Rule number 7, don't quit.
When do you quit? You quit when you don't love it anymore. If you quit now, but you still love it, you will regret that decision the rest of your life. You'll constantly wonder, what if I just gave it one more day, one more week, one more month? You might have to slow down and do something else to survive, but you have to keep going if you still love it. So I look at my early days as a YouTube creator, and you can go back on my channel and see how awkward I was and nervous I was. And my first video, I'm sitting down in a suit and a tie, and I'm sweating, and I'm trying to memorize my lines, and it took me all day to make one video. Most of my lines were me reading because I couldn't memorize the entire script, and I was so afraid of not having to be perfect with my lines. And so I read most of it and had B-roll on top of it. But still, it took me a whole day just to get some of those lines out on camera, like take after take after take after take after take. And when I started, on paper, it looked like a stupid idea. I had no video background. I'm introverted. It doesn't come across now, but I'm introverted. I don't like being the center of attention. I don't go and talk to people and introduce myself. I don't like the camera being on me. I don't like being in a spotlight. It doesn't make me feel amazing about myself. I don't crave it. I'd much rather be at home by myself, with my wife. That's super comfortable for me. That's easy. So when I started, it was just an experiment. And even though I wasn't very good at it, I just loved it. I don't know, I liked it. I'm a visual learner, and I think people are built to serve, right? And I struggled so much as an entrepreneur that I wish there was more content for entrepreneurs that was visual and that modeled success. Bill Gates saved my company, not me talking to him or him investing in my business, just his story, how he started, I applied, and that started growing my company. And I wish there were more resources telling the stories of successful, famous entrepreneurs that you could learn from. One, just to get inspired to say, wow, look what they can do. But two, also to get specific ideas to help you grow your business. And it didn't exist. And so I thought, I'm going to go make it, right? Typical entrepreneur. Nothing exists in the market, so I'm going to go off and create it myself. And so it made me do all these things that I was afraid of, that I wasn't good at, that I didn't have natural talent at. And it took me 5 years to get to my first 7,000 subscribers, right? Think about that journey. Now, I wasn't doing it every day. I wasn't as hardcore committed. I was experimenting and playing with it a bunch before actually taking it seriously. But I loved it. Even now, I love it. Like, as much as I'm afraid to get in front of the camera, afraid to go and do a speech because I don't want to disappoint people, I still love it. I love it. I love serving. I love helping people. This is what I need to do. And so even though I wasn't seeing a lot of momentum or traction at the beginning, even though all this stuff on paper looked like it was against me and I should quit and I should go do something else, for whatever reason in my heart it told me I can't quit now. I have to keep going. And just through sheer perseverance and adjusting and developing the skill set and getting better and becoming more skilled, I slowly got better. And now here we are. My main channel has over 2 million subscribers and 300 million views, and it's only because I didn't quit on my dreams when everybody else would have quit. And I want the same thing for you. If you still love the thing that you're doing, it may not make sense right now. It may not be practical right now. You don't know how it's all going to work out. Awesome. You have to keep going or you're going to regret it. Just quick story. I remember meeting a friend of mine in Orlando a number of years ago, just as I was about to start taking off. So maybe 5 years ago or so in Orlando, and he was telling me that he's going to be the next Gary Vee, and that I'm going to go off and be the next big YouTuber, and let's go build this thing and like cheer each other on. And he posted something maybe 2 years ago on his Instagram saying, I met Evan in Orlando, and he showed, posted the picture of us having a, Starbucks in Orlando, and I told him I was going to be the next Gary Vee, and he was going to go off and be the next big YouTuber. And Evan went off and did it, and I didn't do my part. he just didn't have enough momentum. He just start and stopped, and he didn't do it. And he has a lot more natural talent, charisma, energy than I do. I think we both have an equal level of kind of care and love and wanting to serve and help, but he was way more gifted naturally than me. The only difference is I just kept going. I loved it and I didn't want to quit on it, and now he regrets that he didn't take the action. Now he's off doing it. He's chasing his dreams down. He's back on the horse and creating more content and trying to be that next person, but he regrets not having hustled as much as I did over the 3-4 years between us meeting. And I don't want that for you. You've got a dream, energy, passion. You know you can give something great to the world. If you love it, you have to find a way to keep going. If you don't love it, quit immediately. Like, get out of that business if you hate it. If you love it and it just hasn't worked out yet, you have to keep going. Okay, so what's the 3-step process to know if you should quit and how to keep the momentum going on your dreams? Let's go. Step number 1 is make the big decisions in your life with your heart and the small ones with the head. Big decisions with the heart, small ones with the head. Here's the thing. Your head is designed to keep you safe. Your head only understands a world that currently exists. It's logical, it's practical, it's survival mode. It keeps you safe. It knows what already exists. The problem is your heart wants to create something new. Your heart is telling you to go off and do something that's never been done before. So the fact that you want to step outside what your parents have done and what your community does, what your family has done, is not safe, is not practical, is not logical. You want to create and burst something new. That's what entrepreneurs do. So often the big ideas that you have, your head and your heart they're not aligned. They're fighting. Your heart wants to do this thing. You love it. You know it's inside you. Like, I got to make this thing. But your head's saying, you can't do that. You don't have the schooling, education, resources, connections, money. You can't go off and do that. Go get the safe job, right? And so often the head wins out because we live in scarcity, but your heart knows you're capable of more and you're frustrated with your life. You have to make the big decisions in your life with your heart. We're not making some list of pros and cons. That's your head thinking. Don't do that. Big decisions with your heart. And then you use your head to help you figure out the plan. It's like your heart tells your head, heart, we're doing this. Head, we're doing this. Okay? No options. Now help me figure out. You're the smart one. Help me figure out how to actually make it happen. Big decisions in life with your heart. Small ones with the head. Number 2 is understand that your purpose comes from your pain. This is a key theme in my new book, Built to Serve. Your purpose comes from your pain. Your purpose is to help other people who currently are what you used to be. Think about what you struggled with, what you suffered through. There are so many people who are currently struggling with the exact same thing. You represent hope to them. You can help them. You can guide them. You can save them. But you have to be out there creating. So if the idea that you have, the dream that you have, is in service to the people who currently are who you used to be, and you're going to reach back and help them, you have to keep going. That's going to fill you up for life. I love helping entrepreneurs so much because I struggled so much as an entrepreneur in my first business when I felt worthless. I love modeling success and teaching you guys about all these famous entrepreneurs and what they've done because that's how I got out of the hole that I was in, right? Bill Gates saved my first company. His story did, right? So that's all I've done now for the past 20 years of trying to now give back and help out other entrepreneurs. And so if your purpose in your business and what you want to create is coming from that pain point that you went through and you want to help others not suffer as much, you have to keep going because that's going to fill you up for the rest of your life. And number 3 is ask yourself, what would you do if money wasn't a problem? A lot of times we quit because money's a problem. And that is a practical reality of being an entrepreneur. Money is often a problem. You haven't figured out yet how to make it a success. You haven't figured out with my YouTube channel at the beginning. I didn't know how to make it a success. I wasn't making any money. I wasn't getting any views, no comments, no subscribers, right? You haven't figured out the path yet. But if money wasn't the problem, what would you do? Would you still be doing the same thing? This is what often separates the people who just have the maniacal commitment to keep going and have the momentum and energy sustained to keep going, where most logical, sane people would quit and give up because they just love the thing that they're doing so much. If the reason you're doing it is just chasing opportunity, you're going to lose. You should quit. If you're just chasing opportunity because this year is the year of XYZ, right? Whatever product or service, if you're just chasing down an opportunity, then get out. Because you're going to go up against people who love what they're doing, right? If it's you who's just chasing opportunity, going up against somebody who loves the thing, you're going to lose. They're going to beat you every time. You might have this small, tiny window of success, and then you have to hop to the next thing, and hop to the next thing, and hop to the next thing, and never have any sustained success because you don't actually love the thing that you're doing. And you're going to come home and be frustrated and angry and upset and never really fulfilled. So the reason that you're chasing down the thing, money's important. It's just not number 1. It's got to be in your top 5. But if you had all the money in the world, what would you spend your time doing? And then make sure that whatever business you're in right now is just a smaller version of what you would be doing, because that's the dream that you want to work towards.
Rule number 8, the last one before our very special bonus clip, find your calling.
Finding your calling is easy. I think it's crazy that people don't know how to find their calling. I think it's among the most important questions that you need to figure out in life. Like, how are you living your life without knowing why you're here, what your calling is, how you're going to serve, the message you have, the one impact that you want to have? It's crazy. Like, you can't live a happy, fulfilled life until you know what that is. And it's not that difficult. And it just blows my mind, because when you figure it out, when Will Smith figures it out, when all these super insanely talented people figure it out, the world's going to change. Can you imagine a world where everybody has found their calling and is living it? I want to live in that world. And so that's why I'm trying to create that world. Here's how you do it. It's actually not that difficult. It's in my new book, Built to Serve. Link in the description. Go get it. This is the overview. One, it starts with understanding that you're built to serve, right? There's a reason why I called the book Built to Serve. You are built to serve. Your calling comes from helping other people. It's not to make just a ton of money. It's not just to be able to say, hey, here I am on the beach, right? That's not your calling. That doesn't make you happy. Those are short-lived moments. Your calling comes from serving and helping other people. You are built to serve. Your happiness will come from helping other people because you are built to serve. 3 steps to figure it out. 1, your who, your one word most important core value. Mine is believe. What is yours? Look through all of the things that you love that's made you come alive. Your favorite movie, your favorite book, what you love about your parents. Look to who your favorite teacher was of all time. Why? It's not because Mrs. Jones taught you grade 8 math. It's because she made you feel a certain way. What did she make you feel? Why, right? Make that connective tissue between all the things that make you come alive. And then it makes it easy for you to figure out what you love more than anything else, what your single most important core value is. Mine is belief. Thus, everything I make is around belief. The people in my life, the content I make, the products that I create, all of it has to be around belief. This video, the intention is belief. I want you to believe in yourself more. Maybe I don't achieve it, but it's my intention every single time. And so when you figure out your most important core value, and then you start to organize your life and your business around it, it has a gigantic impact on your life and what you do, how you feel. If I was around people all day long who didn't believe, that'd be a really toxic, negative, hard place for me to win in. But since I know that I'm about belief, I attract people who also love the message of belief. It's why we have such an amazing community. It's why all the videos I put up are positive. I'm not putting out videos trashing somebody, showing them at their worst, their weakest moments, why they suck. Those videos would probably get more views, to be honest. But I don't, because it's not about belief. Same thing for you. What is your single most important core value? So look for all the things you love and then try to draw a line. Write down 3 descriptive keywords. So what you loved about your parents, what you loved about your favorite teacher, what you loved about your favorite movie, your favorite book, all of it. 3 descriptive keywords for each, and then see which word pops up over and over and over and over again. That's your one word, most important core value. You have to figure it out. That will never get old. I'm going to believe in people for life. Next, your why. It's who, why, how. Your why. Your purpose comes from your pain. The thing you struggled the most with as a human, you felt the most worthless, most insecure, most disposable as a person. That thing, you want to help other people not suffer as much as you did. So Will Smith trying to figure out his calling? It's not that hard. Go back and find the single moment where you felt the most worthless, most disposable, lowest as a human. What was that moment? Your purpose in life is to help other people not feel that way as well. I was meeting a woman a couple days ago on the beach, and she was saying, I felt so many times where I felt low. There's not just one moment, so many times. I go, okay, great, talk to me about them. And one of them was an ex-partner leaving her for her best friend. One of them was her father not treating her well and having some abuse in the family. It's like, okay, great. Let's just take those 2. What's common between those 2? Different moments in your life, different people around you. What's common? And she took 5 seconds to think about it, then said, I felt disposable. And then she had this pause. And then she came up and hugged me. Like every moment that I felt the lowest in my life, I felt disposable by other people. That's your why. That's your purpose. To help other people not feel disposable. And you'll love that for life. Then she got all emotional, thanked me. It's not that difficult. Draw a line. If there's not just one moment, draw a line between all of the negative things that you felt the worst as a human. Maybe other people didn't care about it, but you did. When you go home and you felt worthless, why? What happened? What's the common feeling between them? Your purpose for the rest of your life is to help other people not feel the same way. That's your calling, and that will never get old. That's the who, that's the why, then the how. How you got out of it, how you suffered through it, what you did, the techniques is teachable. It's a recipe. You can show other people how to do it too. You're still on your path. You're not done growing. You're not done learning. You never want to be. I'm not done growing, learning. Will Smith is not done learning, growing. You're never done. You don't want to be, but you know more than you did 5 years ago. And there's lots of people who currently are what you were 5 years ago. They currently are. They're living in the hell that you experienced. They're right there, and they feel hopeless. And you feel there's no path. There's no exit. There's no plan. They don't know what to do. They're lost. You represent hope. And you can touch them in a way that nobody else can. You can touch them in a way that I can, that Will Smith can't. Because you've been through it where I haven't and Will Smith hasn't either. You've been through it. And so how you got out of it is inspiration and is a recipe you can teach, because most people who went through what you went through don't get out of it. They still are stuck. For years or decades, they're stuck. So it's the who, the why, and the how. Find your purpose. Find your calling. Be set for life on a purposeful, happy, fulfilled life. That's the path. And I hope you follow it.
Now I've got some special bonus clips that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I want to know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you just watch a video and you get motivated, the science says you have a 35% chance of actually following through. That's not good enough, Believe Nation. We need to take some action. But when you watch a video, you get motivated and you create a specific plan of action, that number jumps from 35% to 91% chance of you following through. And when you publicly commit to other people, like leaving a comment down in this video, your number jumps to 95% chance of you actually following through on the plan you set for yourself. So I want to know your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week. Leave it down in the comments below so I can celebrate you. You are a product of your environment. The people around you are keeping you exactly where you are. And if you love where you are, then keep with those people. But if you want more out of life, if you've got bigger dreams, bigger ambitions, then you're going to have to let some of those takers go. Now, I've been pretty fortunate that I haven't had any real takers in a long time in my life. But here's the thing, it's easy to recognize the people who are really negative in your life and want to eliminate them. But then once you've done that, you'll still find that there's this middle ground. There's these people who bring you energy, who are amazing, who lift you up, who are awesome to be around. And there are people who are negative that you cut out of your life. But then there's that middle ground of people who, they're just okay. They're not bad. They're not great. It's just okay. And if you want to raise the quality of your life, if you want to raise your standards, you can't be hanging around, at least spending most of your time with people who make you feel just okay. So I got back from an event with Tony Robbins not that long ago. I think it was last year when I went with my friend Mark Drager, and Tony at the end of his events has you do this fire walk. And he lays out these, coals, these hot burning coals across a parking lot, and you have to walk over it. And he has you sing "Cool Moss, Cool Moss," and it gets you all excited and amped up to ready to cross the walk. And the idea is you're doing something that you're afraid of. You're doing something that you're scared of, and to show yourself that you're capable of doing difficult things. Mark and I decided to actually skip the fire walk, because we rushed home and I did the real fire walk, which was in my life letting go of a number of people who were just okay. It wasn't that they were bad or toxic or big takers from my life. It was just okay. And I realized if I'm spending all my time on things that are just okay, things, people, projects, ideas that are just okay, that make you feel just okay, right? It's good is the enemy of great. If it's really bad, you're gonna let it go. But if it's good, you just keep it around. And then suddenly the good becomes your standard. Your good becomes acceptable. When did good become acceptable? That's what you need to draw the line in the sand and say the ideas that are just good, I need to eliminate from my life. The people that are just good, I need to either eliminate or spend less time with them, to leave room for the things that are great, extraordinary, excellent, raising your standards, making you believe more in yourself and your capabilities. And so coming back from that event, it was on that day, not even coming back, it was on that day, I went back to my Airbnb with Mark and I let go of multiple people in my life. And not let go and say you suck, just basically moving on. And that allowed me to have a lot more momentum now. Now I had a lot more free time that allowed me to focus on things that would build me up, that would explode my growth forward. And it's been a crazy year. It's been basically a year. November 2018 was when that happened. So now it's been almost a full year. I guess by the time this video comes out, it's been a full year. Wow, that's crazy. It's been a full year since that happened. You have to let go of the takers first, and then you have to start thinking about, are the people around you just good? Are your ideas just good? And slowly start getting rid of those ones. The projects, the tasks, look at your calendar. What's just good in your life, and get rid of it and leave room and focus on the things that are extraordinary, that fill you up, that build you up, that make you feel amazing because you deserve it. And all of your great work, all of your great activities, all of your great momentum, your great impact is going to come on the other side of doing amazing things. You will never create something amazing when you're working on something good, when you feel good, and definitely not when you feel bad.
If you want to learn what's keeping you poor, check out the video next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy. Continue to believe. I will see you there.
You can be educated and you can create. Entertained, educated, create. The first one costs you money, entertainment. The second one is an investment, education.